All right, since we're live, let everybody mute your mics. Yeah, I probably won't be playing around too much today. I'm gonna be more serious than normal. I just got some real bad news right before about one of my former mentees, and yeah, it was impossible for me to deal with it right there. So, one good thing about this topic is not gonna kick my butt right now, because I try hard not to do this with the right people. So today's focus is well, first of all, today's September 4th, 2022, and we are talking about being taken for granted in Western culture. Being taken for granted in Western culture. Today's Sunday, September 4th, 2022. The show intentions is to help compatible listeners or viewers with knowing when they are taking someone else for granted or when they are being taken for granted. So it's two ways of learning. That's my intentions tonight. It's to help compatible listeners, everybody, compatible listeners and viewers with knowing when they are taking someone else for granted or when they are being taken for granted. Here we go. Now, today we're talking about the opposite reality of the word cherish. We are talking about the opposite reality of the word cherish. Because if you're taking someone for granted, cherish is definitely opposite reality. So, what do we really know about cherishing someone when love has so many different meanings and definitions? I'm going to say that again. What do we really know about cherishing someone when love has so many different meanings and definitions? You heard this before. Do you promise to love and cherish? Quick, what's the definition of cherish? Quick. I don't know. Most people don't. Cherish, so a definition, not the, just a definition. To hold something dear, to protect and care for someone or something lovingly. So even in that definition is major bars and hints, protection. So when you analyze how you're being currently protected to how you're currently being loved. I'll say that again. Even in that definition is major bars and hints. Listen to the word protection. So you can analyze how you are currently being protected to how you are currently being loved. But let's see the duality in that. You also have to understand that your comfort. I want to feel comfortable. Everybody wants to feel comfortable. Well, your comfort comes from a current protection outside of your culture. So this is one reason why parts of your culture is not or will not protect you how you think you should be protected. Because you are displaying a need that is culturally biased. Yes, your actual needs are culturally biased. Remember Hurricane Katrina? Well, many of those stories are coming out again. So imagine people trying to give help, and you say, and you're one of the Hurricane Katrina victims, and you say, I will only take Fiji water and the best of steaks. And you say it like this. Now your whole life is messed up, and you say it like that. Well, no one wants to be there for a person like that. To be taken for granted by a person like that. When you were just truly, or you had the intentions to just truly help. So, what do we really know about cherishing someone? Because I hope y'all think we're going to be off of that. What do we really know about cherishing someone? Have you ever been in a barbershop or a salon and the people inside were arguing about how they were being loved? Let's say that's one. Or how they're being cherished. Two. Which one? Put it in the chat. Have you ever been in a barbershop or beauty salon and you heard people inside arguing about their love problems in their love life, or their cherished problems or their cherished life? I know, I don't even need to look. Some people think it will come from things we know. So again, what do we really know about cherishing someone? Some people think it will come from the things we know. What do we know about cherishing somebody? I don't know. Some people think it will come from the things we know. I say it will come from the things we don't know. Epistemology, the philosophical study of the nature, origin, and limits of human knowledge, or the things we don't know. So there's an actual study into the what we don't know about life. I'll say that again. There's an actual study into the what we don't know about life. Even the so-called empty space that surrounds us is full of info and potential. Uh-oh, Jason getting spooky again. Most of the world and all worlds is space. About 99.9% space. Remember the movie The Matrix. Remember the end of the movie when the so-called empty space began to reveal itself as a series of coded numbers of ones and zeros? Right, little green ones and zeros. Only because the observer, or Neo, was finally able to see what was already there. He merely earned his new viewpoint of his current level of understanding, understanding, and his current comprehension level of reality that was already there. It sound like some haters. So, Jason, is there an energy frequency code that tells you when you're dealing with a person that is taking you for granted? I say to that little sarcastic statement that was said to me in one of these builds, I say, does this energy tell on you for taking someone else for granted? Nah, never that. Nothing can tell on you, right? Nothing can tell on your energy. You can just only read people's energy. We humans don't see what the bees see, or what the birds see, or how and what an ant sees. Just to name a few things. Oh, scientific narcissists. Jason, we now have the technology to see from the tiny perspectives of ants all the way to the highest perspectives of birds and higher. And I say, well, do we see like ants and birds from these different perspectives, or do we still see all of that like humans? No response. But many people study and brag about what they know. But sometimes I like to study what we don't know, especially because we say it so much and with such arrogance. Have you ever met someone and they bragged about how they didn't know you that well? Or I don't know about you. Or we're getting to know each other better, which is a form of not really knowing you. So it's time to know the morons who take people for granted, right? So we can spot the energy and never become the energy we spotted, right? Well, according to one of the most influential religions in the Western world called Christianity, Judas was one of the most famous people in the Bible that took greatness for granted. Because according to the Bible, he was hanging out with Jesus. But since good and bad energy is never destroyed but transferred, no matter how Christ-like you have become, or how Christ-like you all have become, or you all have become, you have that fake Judas energy still alive and well, incompatible hosts. So stop hosting fake ass Judas parties in your body. So what makes a person take you for granted? One scenario I see often is that good people love to help bad people and get shocked. When bad people get stronger, so they get stronger bad and more of what they already are or were. Thanks to the good help from the good people with the terrible people reading skills. Tariq Nasheed said in his online lecture, The Science of Ingratitude, on how we can get confused on why people go out of their way to show ingratitude. He broke down why your people and friends go out of their way to turn on you. What if your style of help just sucks really bad? Let's self-reflect, everybody. What if your style of help? I'm just trying to help. Let's meditate and let's just really think about our style of help. Have you ever just thought to yourself, what if my style of help sucks? What could I do better? No, we don't do that when we meditate because we give the best help. What is wrong with everybody? That's how y'all be doing. So what if your style of help just really sucks really bad? And what if the people you choose to help are trash? Meaning you love helping trash get better. And then you get shocked when that stinking ass trash starts smelling worse. Here's a warning to many people that live like this. You are about to get left. You're going to lose a lot of people because you are taking that person or group of people for granted through your low cherishing levels. I love them through your low cherishing levels. Oh my God, what? Through your low cherishing levels. Why would they ever, look, this is what most people, and I hope y'all listening because y'all don't need people that's going to really talk about something. So, why would they ever, this is what they say to me, Jason, why would they ever leave me? I've given them the shirts off my back for years. And I say for years? Yes. And they say it like this. They might not even have a shirt on at the time. I said, man, they are bragging about the shirts that they give people off their back. They brag about that sucky help, right? I say, well, sir or ma'am, because it works on, young, old, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. I say, I know you talking about you giving them the shirts off your back for years, but they have been asking you for pants for years. Yeah, they've been asking for pants. You're bragging about the shirt that you've given them off your back for years, and they have been asking for pants. Look at the police reports. They've been getting arrested for having no pants. And you're bragging about the shirts you give off your back. Now, I made up this term because everybody gets to make up terms. You can write it down as NTIH. NTIH. You can't even make an acronym sound out of it. So I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. NTIH. I call that type of help narcissistic, toxic, insane help. I know that sounds crazy, but no pun intended, because narcissistic, toxic, insane help, that sounds crazy. But no pun intended. Like I said, who cares about the shirts that you brag about giving people? If they asking for pants or socks or shoes, stop bragging about the shirts you give off your back. You sound narcissistic, toxic, insane helper. Shout out to Hamburger Helper. So many people cry about getting taken for granted. I'm getting taken for granted. Please listen to this. But they never cry about the discussions they have with these same people about their love languages, their business languages, or life languages. Which can be light or detailed descriptions of your boundaries that make you love or hate a person. They keep stepping on my boundaries. I hate them. Which can make you love or hate a person. man, they don't come close to my boundaries. It's like it's like they're dealing with me at the right time. Wow. Which can make you love or hate a person. So, people who operate under this energy, they're experts at talking about what they're not getting from people. They're just not giving me what I need. But they're amateurs, so they're experts at talking about what they're not getting from people. Watch what they're amateurs at. They're amateurs at telling people what they won't tolerate. Watch this. In the very beginning, so it can be known into law by both parties. If they ever voice their opinion of what they won't tolerate, it's purely from a reactionary standpoint. I react. Not reactionary. There's glass here. There's plexiglass. Yeah, I'm not reacting. I'm preventing that. I knew what was about to happen. So I put plexiglass there and I said, oh, that's wise. Because I was planning on striking you. Man, having plexiglass there is, you see what I'm saying? It's very preventative. These people are reactionary. So the stuff that they're going to cry to you about is not to prevent. If you try to prevent stuff with them, you're going to get on your nerves. You're going to get on their nerves. You're going to sound boring. Preventative conversation. You know how boring prevention is? Do you know how emotionally charged reaction is? Or being reactionary is? You can march, you can do all this stuff. Come on, reacting? You know how much emotions I'm having? Come on, y'all, let's react. You know how boring it is to prevent? Give me the boring stuff. All right, but like I said, you're going to seem crazy when you talk about prevention. A lot of people ain't got time for all that. I got time to be emotionally reactive when something bad happens that I could have prevented. Okay. If you call them on their behaviors, and you're right. So remember, we on some prevention stuff. So if you call them on their behaviors and you're right, your story will never change. This will never change up. But when you are wrong, your standards and positions eventually change. So just study how people talk to you. If this changes anything, they're moving on anything that they're talking about. So, when you are wrong, the truth will eventually evolve you. That's why people think time heals all wounds. This is only a true statement after surgery, physical therapy, or the right rest, right? Because there's a need to have a corrective measure first. And then this so-called time will heal all wounds. So, most people cry about being used, seem to always have the worst histories with human interactions, especially with individuals from the opposite sex. Pay attention to that. Seriously. Listen to people who I just get used by people. You got to understand, like attracts like. Please listen to people who get used. They're probably users that are marketers of other users that they're attracted to, that attract to them, that come to them, that does what magnets do. I don't know why they keep calling me. They're just doing what magnets do. I don't know why they around. They just won't leave me alone. They're just doing what magnets do. Most, if not all people who get taken for granted, watch this, they could be answering for all their past karmas that manifested those unwanted outcomes of being used and taken for granted. That could be your karma. So again, you don't never tell the people, oh, I've been used because of the karma that made it easy for the person to use me. Nobody says it like that. they're all audio Dr. Dre's. They cut that audio out. They be like, please, I ain't saying that part. I'm saying I was compatible with somebody that used me. All right. So like I said, some of those people could be, or again, everybody's just dealing with bad people. And I don't know. They're Deborah Cox. How did you get here? Deborah, you opened the door and you let me in and you gave me your number and you gave me the key to your place. You didn't even unlock the door. You gave me the key. Look, Deborah's lying. How did you get here? Deborah, you gave me your address and you y'all see where I'm going with that? Okay. So some people are like, nope, how Sherlock? And I say, well, toxic westernized minds can only take people for granted. Sometimes take people for granted. No, I said toxic. He's talking about westernized minds. Go in the dictionary and look up toxic and then add that to it. You see what I'm saying? That's like Mr. or Mrs. I'm adding like toxic westernized minds. Oh, he's talking about the toxic westernized minds. Toxic westernized minds can only take people for granted. And they all cry about the horrible karma they earn. You know, the karma I earned. Now, beta males usually don't take their women for granted. So let's clap it up for the beta males. Yeah, beta males don't usually take their women for granted because beta males are usually the ones trying to give advice to women that don't really like them. But they like giving advice about the man that the women actually are in love with. So beta males' lives are generally ruined because they're just whack. I thought I was going to say something scientific there. No, their lives are ruined due to pure whackness. So they're ruining women and silently ruining, you see what I'm saying, trying to ruin the man that these women love with their dirty macking advice. These are filthy Macs. We need to even change dirty Macking to filthy Macking. Dirty, rotten, filthy Macs. If you hear the game that these are the type of dudes that'll be like, well, he did what? You know, so-and-so said he did this and he did this and he did this. This is crazy. I would never treat you like that. Yeah, we can hug. Dirty Max is, now I ain't the one to be, you know, spreading rumors, and them dudes, they working really good. They getting brought out, but it's taking a while because they being real quiet how they do it. But those are filthy, rotten, dirty Max. You know, I ain't the one to be spreading stuff, but you know, I got feelings for you, not like that, but you know, Now, I'm gonna say this again. Jason, you always hard on the women. No, I'm gonna be balanced right now. Propaganda is also painting a narrative that all women love being married to men that they take for granted. I've heard so many toxic older women tell younger women to never marry a man that you love. Only marry a man that loves you. Now, I have also heard that this same advice for boys and men, are for boys and men to take. So, do you know how stupid that is? I don't care. Because I ain't gonna lie, I used to look at that and be like, oh, right on, old school. That's some cold game right there. Because I was just like, man, nobody got time to really go at him like that. Or go at them like that. But let's just do that. I'm going to marry somebody that is in love with me, and oh my God, they're going to do everything for me. But I don't feel the same way. Did you know that being around someone that you don't love, but loves the hell out of you, do you know that gets old, it gets annoying, and it gets scary? It could eventually make you mentally sicker. What you mean mentally sicker? Because you're probably already mentally sick for choosing to live like that or choosing a life like that. Nuh-uh, I make a lot of money. How many people you know with money that committed suicide because depression comes from unhappiness? So if we're giving birth, if depression is giving birth, unhappiness is coming out of it, and money can't buy that. Happy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Money can't keep that happiness. I'm sorry. Everybody buys a Lamborghini. They can get a Lamborghini, but I've never seen somebody happy on the way to get it fixed. I've never seen a Lamborghini driver be like, I'm about to get my Lamborghini fixed. Now, going over somebody's house that they dating with, that saw the Lamborghini, I know that drive. But I've never seen an arrogant Lamborghini driver or any type of nice car driver act like that on the way to the auto repair shop. Now watch this. I have it told to, well, whatever you was driving in, it started acting like that. I never seen an owner get arrogant at that time. Because money can't keep it. Money can buy it. You can get there. You can't keep it with the money. So, double-minded people's perspective. I get a lot of emails about double-minded people's perspectives on these topics that I'm talking about. And I've heard people say, I don't know how I want to be treated. I don't have a way of explaining it either. But I will get mad whenever I get, or whenever I experience disrespect. And you be like, and before I can explain, like respond to that, another double-minded person wanted to ask me something. And I'm like, come on, double-minded person. What do you want to say? And they say, well, I don't know how you are treating me. Or I don't know how, or I don't like how you're treating me. And I'm like, you don't like how I'm treating you? I deserve better than this. And you're like, okay, well, what is it? Well, I don't know how I want to be treated, and I don't have a way of explaining it. And this is the best advice I can give to it. And there's a lot of young men going through that. I say, if you ever meet a person that complains that they are always being taken for granted by people, you might want to run, because these people can't prevent what they hate to experience. Many of them are literally incapable of seeing the messed up things that they do to other people. Their brains are only allowing them to see all the good that they do. Right? Ask these people. And again, ask these people. These people that only be like, oh, I only want to see the good. Ask these people, why do you pray over your food? and a lot of them are like, what? To get rid of the impurities. And you say to these people that just magically think like that, you say, well, why focus on the impurities in the food? Just only focus on what is healthy in the food, right? They don't want to have your back on that one. They're like, no, I get the sarcasm, but no, we don't. I'm praying against the bad stuff. And I get what you're saying. So only focusing on the good stuff when we're clearly talking about the bad stuff, and the creator of good stuff actually created bad stuff. So yeah, I'm just being a jerk. Yeah, I'm being a duality jerk. Yeah. And people do that. So people value, they be taking me for granted. People value what they work for. And people take things for granted that they didn't earn. My babies don't have to earn none. You know what I mean? I'm giving them the... People take things for granted that they didn't earn or don't earn. Man, if she just give me a chance, I'm going to give her the world. People take things for granted that they didn't earn. Oh my God, I'm having sex with all of them on the first night. People take things for granted that they didn't earn. People actually begin to hate what's always there. I'm always going to be there for them. People, now watch this. I'm not saying this. I did not say everybody. I said people. People, because again, some people, I didn't say everybody, some people listen to be offended. Dang. And they always got the most juice on their technology. So they got enough time to be offended. And all the people that don't get offended, they ain't got a lot of juice on their phones and technology. So people actually begin to hate what's always there. Haven't you noticed when people are done with a person or a group of people, they aren't there anymore? People do actually treat what's always there, or so-called always there, like a common thing. Well, God is always there, right? God is always there. So why do so many people that worship their gods treat those same gods like a common thing? All right, I need help. Can you help me? Well, since we're talking about taking people for granted, how needing help can make a materialistic minded person take another less fortunate person for granted. So watch who you asking for help for. Because needing help, again, can make a materialistic person. I just need help from that person. That's a materialistic person. You might want to ask a spiritual person for something materialistic because they might not miss it. And this is not for con artists that want to get yeses all the time. And you see where I'm coming from. But when you ask a materialistic minded person for something, because they always talk about, you can't get no help from, no, you ask a materialistic person. They probably, again, don't do that. Don't ask them for nothing. Spiritual people are broke. Yes, spiritual people are broke, but a lot of them are not. You just don't know the ones that are not from the ones that are because they dress alike. Let's move forward because this is going to get out of hand. All right, so when a negative, manipulative-minded person does anything nice for you, just because I did that nice for you, I don't want you to ever focus on anything bad about my insane behaviors that I'm about to start showing you. No, I'm not going to show you now. It's too early. Yes, I'm insane. And I told you that on the first date. Yes, remember, you got to study how people's relationships end. You don't study anything that they're saying. Study how they end, and you can actually kind of know who they are. Right? So when people, manipulative-minded people, do anything nice for you, they probably don't want you to focus on anything bad that they do. Because I paid you to shut up. I've gifted you energy to shut up when I start going insane. Most of the times, the nice gestures are a setup, again, for you to owe them later. Now, they only want to focus on the good that they do. And again, if you don't, you're going to be taking all this good stuff that all this gorilla gifting I'm doing on you. You taking this for granted. You taking all this gorilla gifting. I'm giving you all this stuff, and I can remember everything that I'm giving you, even down to the receipts. But I'm not using this against you, but I know every. And then everybody looking on the outside is like, dang, you are taking them for granted. They gave you this. It's like, no, I didn't even know where they was at. They jumped out of the bushes and started giving me stuff. So they're gorilla givers. And don't you ever come at me like anything that I do that's insane, because I've been giving you stuff. Or you will be, again, taking me for granted with that negative talk, which is ironic, because the manipulative-minded person may even call you ungrateful if you talk about their insane behaviors in public when they test it. That's where a lot of them try to test you at, in public. I was just playing when I pushed you after that statement. No, that person is going to start. that was a test in public. Okay. These demon-possessed people hate development. Go to the gym with them. Again, I'm telling you, I'm making this an energy thing. What zodiac signs be doing? I'm making this an energy thing right now. These demon-possessed people hate development. So if you want to see if you're dealing with a person that takes you for granted, see how they deal with development, because you must be taking your body and health for granted. Because if you don't want to repair it, make it better, make it work better, literally get to see how a person takes their body for granted. And again, it's not about you, I promise you. It's about them. Stop acting and only caring about what you need when you need to understand. You need to understand the people that wanting to be around you. It's going to be a lot of people that want to be around you for reasons and goals that you're not going to know about. So these demon-possessed people hate development unless they're suggesting it for other people. You need to develop here and here and here. They'll talk about development. What do you mean? Other people development and what they're doing? Oh, yes, I'm here. You talk about their development, they will shut down. Michael Jackson moonwalk, get off the phone, magically have to do this, and that. Which, if they were on the phone with the lottery company that was needing to get their information to send them the millions of dollars, they would never click over. They would never just magically have something to do. They would have undivided attention on that call. So again, development, unless they're suggesting it for other people. So you have to walk on eggshells around them with verbal disclaimers. So again, if women, men, young, old, stop taking that. Stop being like, oh, they give me verbal disclaimers every time they talk to me. I'm like, no, because you may be insane to them. So they're giving you verbal disclaimers like, I promise you, I'm not meaning this. I'm not meaning this. So when I say it like this, if somebody has to paint a picture before they paint a picture for you, and they're doing it like this, like it's magical eggshells, you could be one of these demon-possessed people that I'm talking about, because they literally are possessed. These people now watch this. Let's look at the younger them, because the younger them didn't take people for granted. But watch this. These people only truly try relationships when they're younger and broker. The more money they make and the better their careers become, the more isolated they make themselves. So many of them would desire to be around newly made people just like them. Hold on, you miserable? Yeah, I'm miserable. This group is called Misery with Mad Company. Because Misery loves company. They got Mad Company there, son. So, one form of karma. No, there's other ways of karma. I know, that's why I said one. One form of karma coming to people that take others for granted. Watch what this does. There's one form of karma. It can turn them into control freaks. So Jason, hold on, what you're saying is, if I take somebody for granted, the karma that can come back to me is, I could become more of a control freak. Why would I become more of a control freak? I know, well, check this out. Because you'll magically think that you can control how much karma that's actually coming back to you. You'll magically be like, let me control it. Control freaks like to control what's coming back to them. That's like it's like they're going to Hoover Dam and they're like putting their hands out like, I'm going to stop the water like this. That's how I look at control freaks, I promise you. I never said that before. I look at control freaks like they're just one person standing at a dam with their hands like this. But in their brains, they think they about to stop the water. And I'm like, dang, control freaks need a lot of help. And I blow a kiss to the control freak by the dam with their hands out like that. Feel the sarcasm. They try to be Hoover Dams to their karma flows. So again, these are how control freaks take you for granted. Number one, they'll continuously criticize everything you do. Watch this. Developing and getting better is different than continuously criticizing everything you do. Criticizing and developing and real critiques is different. A continual critique, they don't like you. Because I say the best way to have a critique is at a time like, hey, I like talking about critiques around this time these days. But a lot of people won't do that because either you don't know how to communicate like that, or they just like critiquing all throughout the day. Now that will get annoying because you got to create a time for that. Number 2, they'll get angry at anything or anyone that questions them. Now, I do believe this. I believe them are little dictators, little Dick Tracys. They get angry at anything or anyone that questions them. And again, if you think you're dealing with one of them, try to question them. Unless they're perfect and can I meet them, please? Number 3, they try to guilt shame you. And if they can't guilt shame you, it's because, the only reason why they're guilt shaming you is because they can't beat you intellectually. So I'm about to guilt shame you. I can't, you're too wise. About to guilt shame you. Okay. 4, they have no interest in your options. You should do it like this and you should do it like this. They have no interest in your options. Number 5, they love making rules for everyone else, but they act like they have no idea of the best path for their own lives. I always tell them, well, write down a person that's not you, that has a different name, that's even built different than you, but give them the same problems as you, and you'll magically fix their problems because you criticize everybody else. And you have no history of criticizing yourself. So if you're making something that is you, make it look like somebody else so your muscles can work, but give them the problems of you so your life can work. Now, 6, they show mixed signals because they're really mixed up mentally. Sometimes you got to understand, sometimes people are not really sending mixed signals to spit game to you. They're mixed up mentally. You giving them props, acting like they gaming you. 7, they talk bad about others behind their backs to keep their circles divided, and this allows them to control all involved parties with them. If you're going to be around me, you're going to be on islands. You guys will not link up around me. And not all people. So again, my auntie on my cousin's side said I could, she didn't, or he didn't. Well, maybe I'm not talking about them. All right? And one reason why a lot of people are having a hard time hearing is because devil energy is setting certain groups and cultures of people up to be more ungrateful to others that they think are not like them. The devil is no longer trying to destroy you. I'm telling you, the devil is no longer trying to destroy you. The devil is now protecting you. Can't nobody mess with you. Allowing you to destroy yourself and others that you think are not like you. Shout out to that evil protection plan. ADT ain't got nothing on that protection plan. People that lack foresight will take you for granted until your destiny outcomes catch up with your current realities. But these people are terrible to build anything from scratch from. So again, if you can't build nothing from scratch with them, they probably lack foresight when it comes to your life. And why would you put them in anything else in your life? So people that take you for granted according to their so-called levels of need for you, or a group of people or situations. So again, people take you for granted according to their so-called level of need for you. Find out how people need you, and then you will see why they treat you like that. What does need mean? Well, the one definition of need is to require something because it is essential or very important. Like I require it, or they require it, or it is required. Expressing necessity or obligation. Now, I'm putting the anger definition in there because I'm going to show you how anger and need act with each other. The definition of anger that I want to use is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. Feel someone with anger, provoke anger in. I'm talking about that definition. So, how a person behaves at their so-called angriest is probably who they really are, right? But many people attempt to keep this side of them silent due to professionalism. The definition of professionalism that I'm going with is the competence or skill expected of a professional. The competence or skill expected. So you're behaving according to expectations, the practicing of an activity, especially like a sport, like a professional rather than an amateur, right? But isn't it funny at your job that they tell all employees to keep it professional with other co-workers or employees that hate each other, right? They never tell you to fight. They tell you to keep it professional. So professional treatment doesn't mean that they don't hate you. Professional treatment doesn't mean that they don't take you for granted. A lot of y'all getting professional treatment, but then y'all get shocked when something fake happens from professional treatment. If you follow a person's love language, business language, and life language, you will never take them for granted because you have too much info to do that. And if you ever did that, you would mean that you did it on purpose because you overstood. You overstood. Now, a lot of people talk about the 5 love languages, but I got a feeling a lot of lazy people are going to see this in the future and they're not going to really do the research without this, which this is going to give them a little nudge to do the research. So the 5 love language recaps that should give enough info to develop I'll just say enough info to develop and know. Develop and know. Know and develop. A person's business, team, and partnership languages. What you mean with my language? No, if you're interacting with people, they have language. They have a language too. They have a business language, team language, and partnership language. Number 1, words of, and we're just going to do the love languages. We're not going to do the business and team, but by understanding the love languages, by understanding what a person loves, you'll actually deal with them a little bit better if you can just step out of your bubble for a couple of seconds. So, number 1, words of affirmation. Everything is better when you're here. I appreciate it when you... I couldn't do this without you. I really love your new outfit. I'm so lucky to be with you. I'm so thankful to have you in my life. It impressed me when you... That sounded nasty. Thank you for words of affirmation. Some people really just need that. And you don't feel like talking to them because you got a headache. Oh, I don't want to tell you too much. You might get a big head. That's how they used to talk to us. But now it's, no, don't be depressed. You have hope for another day. It's like, hold on, I thought you didn't want me to get a big head. And words of affirmation. Some people need that. Number 2, physical touch. Physical touch refers to expressing and receiving, receiving and expressing. I know people hate the reciprocal the reciprocal path that I'm on right now because they told me I was just supposed to be receiving. Expressing and receiving affection through touch, physical closeness, and other forms of physical connection. Kissing, hugging, holding hands, having sex are all ways of showing love through physical touch, love language. Number 3. Shout out to number 3. I feel like everybody feels like they're number 3. Receiving gifts. If you or your partner love language is gifts, that means you feel love or you're demonstrating love with tangible items. So shout out to y'all spiritual life. Number 4, quality time. Quality time with you. Time spent giving another person's, watch this, one's undivided attention. What was there with my cell phone? Time spent giving another person's one's undivided attention. Do you understand that there's a war on undivided attention? You think I'm playing go out and just watch people eat? There's a war on undivided attention. But again, if you're going through surgery, you want your surgeon to pay attention to your body that they're operating on. Or do you care if they're checking on those sports scores right during the operation of your body? Silence those phones. Silence technology. And only give the other person access, because people still want to call you. It's like they can, hold on. I got a feeling that they don't want no calls right now. I'm about to call them. I feel like people can feel that. So when you're going to do this, make it a date and give those people who just have to call you, give them the emergency number. And again, if this is not an emergency, I'm going off on you. Because now I feel like you hating on my quality time that I'm trying to spend, because you calling this emergency number that's only for emergency. See where I'm going with that? Now, you silence those phones. You give your undivided attention to them in order to strengthen any relationship. So that's quality time. Number 5, last one. Acts of service. Isn't that like gifts? No. Even in terms of intimate relationships, acts of service is a language that can be best described as doing something for your partner. Watch this. That you know they would like. I don't know what they like. No, you're just selfish and you're being combative. You know what your partner likes, right? It don't even have to be nothing big, like filling up their gas tank, watering the plants, cooking a real meal for them with real food. Imagine cooking real food for them. I'm being sarcastic. Now, when you give acts of services, you give your time. So you see how quality time is kind of in there? If you give it acts of services, turn your cell phone off. Undivided attention. Got it. People like to feel like you really listening to them. Yeah, they like when people look back at them, they're actually listening to what they're talking about. In Western culture, people take you for granted as soon as they reach their so-called goals for you. I got goals for you. I got plans for you. I got plans for you. I got plans for you. Oh, that's dope. You got goals for me? That means you're going to tell me. No, usually these goals you didn't know about, and you probably would never know about. Or if you know about them, you'll probably be the last to know about them. Because again, in toxic Western culture, I didn't say successful Western culture, but I said toxic Western culture. A lot of foreigners come over here and they work and they get hired. It's like, I know taxi cab drivers from other cultures that get more respect than millionaires in America from their families. Seriously. Daddy's home. He's only a taxi driver. We love you, Daddy. Give me your shoes. Here's the newspaper. Here's really good food that's real. And a millionaire come home and they be like, what's up, Dad? We ain't got no more milk. It's like, you didn't want to take the Rolls Royce to go get some more milk? Jesus. But again, the taxi driver in the third world country, he's a man. Because it's a cultural thing. Because again, in toxic Western culture, watch this. No, I'm gonna start it off other cultures. You successful, lift you up. You lift you up, lift you up, lift you up, lift you up. You see how the two partners are going higher with each other? Do you know, and I'm not gonna say any races right now, so I'm just gonna say, do you know there's some races in American culture that I'm higher than you, okay. I'm better than you. I gotta leave you alone. Talk to you later. I'm better than you. And just say hypothetically they find somebody else. Or the other person can go higher than them and be like, hey, this is over. I'm better than you. Gotta go. Other cultures, Okay, this is how high our legacy is. Okay, we'll leave this with the children. All right, we'll leave a piece of it with. We're not gonna leave all of them because it'll make them lazy, but we'll leave a piece of it. Something that if they do go, AWOL, they'll at least have a nest egg that can get them back, cool in a capitalistic society. Yeah, that sounds right? But again, the toxic side of this culture is some cultures that they can't do that because I'm better than you on that level, on level 1. So I can't build with you to level 2. Or I can't build with you to level 5. That's struggle love. And clever people are like, shout out to that taxi driver whose wife and children look up to him and they're building from here to here logically. Because that's a real reality. I never looked at it like that. But in doing these notes, I was just like, man, that taxi cab driver is the man. But again, it's a culture. It's a legacy, right? All right. Now this is not all, but again, if we got to just throw all these disclaimers because you're just a grown person that just can't hear any information without going haywire, this ain't none of this information for you anyway. So many, not all, there goes your little eggshell. Many women that hate their fathers will eventually start looking at the man in their life like their fathers at times, sometimes, or even all the time. Now, if she's been toxically westernized, it will definitely happen. So this ain't even a what if. It will happen. Now, if her father was abusive, she may see you and want you to be just like her, just like daddy. You want me to be abusive? Even if the man doesn't want to participate. Nah, you my daddy. Nope. Yeah, my daddy did that. What you trying to set? Oh, so you trying to set me up and you? No, I'm not participating. Even if the man don't want to participate, some women gonna make you daddy. Why you sitting like that? My dad used to sit like that. So you coming to me and you like. Now, Jason, are you complaining? We are solving problems and talk about problems to be solved. So we're staying away from complaining. Because complaining does not solve problems, it attracts them. So we're not doing that. So spending the day complaining about yesterday won't make tomorrow any better. Cherish every present moment because it's a gift and we should use it wisely. So the secret to having it all, because I know everybody want to have it all. The secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. Practice gratitude. That's your tool. That's your weapon. Gratitude is your weapon. It's your tool. I promise you, it's a powerful tool. So at the time, and again, sometimes I got to keep these notes up here. Sometimes I erase them, sometimes I don't. I'm going to keep these notes on here. Careers that make the worst workers. Careers that make the workers take their partners for granted. Since we're talking about taking things for granted. These careers that I've studied over the years, that just rhymed, I've kind of see, I got to study how people take things for granted. So these careers, I narrowed them down to 7, but these are the careers that helps people get paid for what they cherish. So they do cherish work for their careers. And their partners may get their tired work. Consciously, I ain't doing it on purpose, or subconsciously. So I've studied this for years. So again, some people will get mad, some people whatever. And again, if you tell me you're in these professions, I'm really looking at you. So number 1, I don't care what you say, the best personal assistants are single. So that lets me know that again, personal assistants are always single. Number 2, professional athletes. Number 3, PhDs. Number 4, lawyers and paralegals. Number 5, entertainers. Number 6, human resources directors. Some with that one. Number 7, entrepreneurs. Now, remember these careers influence people.